Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Y'all come on in. Come on in, y'all. It's Thursday. It's Friday, Junior. Y'all about to made it. I'll give you another minute to come on in. Go ahead and share this out. I'm editing to make it public right now. There we go. A 1 2, a 1 2. I think I was a DJ in my former life. I'm telling y'all, I really think I was a DJ in my former life or something. Come on in, share it out. Say hello, say good evening. Say something. Say something. All right, all right. Let's go ahead and get this started. I really need somebody in here to like turn the music down. So I could just flow right into it. But anyway, okay, so if this is your first time joining me, my name is Coach Ronnie B, and I am the resiliency and relationship coach. And what that means is that I help people discover tools that they can use for their mind, body, and spirit so that they show up as their highest self every single day of their lives, no matter what life brings to them. Hello, Cassandra. Nice to see you, love. Good evening, Instagram, and good evening, LinkedIn and YouTube. So today we are on day 10. Can you believe it? Day 10 of me going live and talking about Loving Him from A to Z, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And because we are on day 10, let me tell y'all my win of the day. I'm so proud of me. Y'all see, I'm kind of like still in my workout attire, right? Because after my run, I decided to just go ahead and come in live so that way I can, get on with my evening. But it has been months, it's been cold and everything. I haven't been outside to run. But I said, today was like 72 degrees here. And I said, you know what? I want to go jog. I want to go outside and jog. And y'all, I did 3 miles, 3.25 miles jogging. And I'm so proud of myself because it's been a while since I've been on the hard pavement, jogging. And it's something that I really don't like to run, but I get the best results from running, unfortunately. But I really don't like running. So anyway, I'm trying to get back into it. And as the days get warmer, I'm going to get back out there and do what I got to do. And it's Heart Healthy Month. So you have to do something healthy for your heart this month. Don't forget. It's Love Month, but it's also Healthy Heart Month. Okay. So anyway, Day J. We are on Day J, which is all about joy. Joy. Anyway, so I will begin with this quote. Your joy is the foundation of true happiness and the repellent of complaint. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Your joy is the foundation of true happiness and repellent of complaint. Okay, so let me go ahead and get on into it. I'll read a few excerpts as usual. We'll have questions. We'll have the prayer at the end. And I actually have a piece that I found on joy that I really like. I'm going to give credit to where credit's due. This is from emotioncompass.org. And I'll read this to you real quick. So it says, joy is an emotional response that typically arises when something positive has happened to you or to someone important to you. It also arises when your needs are met. Thus, the feeling of joy helps you to know what's important to you and makes you seek more of it. For instance, when you feel joy at the sight of someone you like or love, the emotion of joy lets you know how good it is to be with that person and that he or she means a lot to you. And we are talking about loving him from A to Z, right? So anyway, joy also serves as an important social function. Expressing joy makes those around you know that you appreciate them. When you share joy with other people, the feeling might increase in intensity and you feel more connected with those around you. Conversely, expressing joy to others but not have it reciprocated can be quite painful. So if you express joy or someone expresses joy around but you don't reciprocate that back, that can be painful, y'all. And many who have grown up in homes where expressions of joy are inhibited might feel shameful of their own joy. Can y'all believe that? Well, actually I can, because I'm a coach. And sometimes how we grew up, if you didn't come from a home where there was joy, or you had joy, but your family didn't have joy, there's almost like a shame on you. Like, how dare you be joyful? What you joyful about? You understand what I'm saying? I'll continue. Joy often feels like a lightness in your body, like you're a little warm, getting more energy, and maybe bubbling a bit on the inside. It also common to express like tears of joy. This often happens when you experience a big relief. For instance, in the aftermath of something difficult or like scary, you're just like, whew, that relief, like that joy comes over you. And when joy is a secondary emotion, it often covers up a different and more difficult emotion. For instance, when someone smiles while talking about something sad, sometimes we use joy as an instrument, like when you try to create a good mood, even if you don't feel happy. And I'll share this last thing that I found here, because this was great. I was like, yes, this is so on point with what I was going to be discussing this, on today. So I want to share this with you guys. Joy is rarely a problem in itself, with the exception of, like hypermania or like substance abuse. But usually joy is a problem when there is too little of it. Joy is a problem when there is too little of it in your household. Ladies, lack of joy usually is an indicator for other emotional needs that are not being met. So here we are. You have to ask yourself, are there some emotional needs that are not being met? And that is the reason why you can't find your joy. And I also say this, it also arises when your needs are met. Thus, the feeling of joy helps you to know what's important to you and makes you seek more of it. For instance, when you feel joy at the sight of someone you like, the emotion of joy, and I think I already had shared that part, so pardon me in that. But let me share part of my book. We're already on 105. We're already on a page 105, guys. I can't believe this. Day 10. Okay, here we go. So Proverbs 21:9, and you'll understand why I'm sharing this later. Better to live on a corner of the roof, than share a house with a quarrelsome wife, argumentative wife, unhappy wife. Okay, y'all get it? Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Okay, so joy is one of the fruits of the Spirit. So anyway, I have shared these verses with you, and I'm about to discuss something that is near and dear to our men. So, ladies, sisters, queens, sis, hey, ladies, we are the ultimate atmosphere setters and the controllers of the room. So we create the tone of our environments. And I talked about that in a previous live, okay? So joy or having joy may seem like like a simple concept, okay? But it may be considered to be basic and simple and typical way of thinking. A pleasant or desired way to be around your home is joyous. So one of the biggest issues men have with women, as you may know, this is not new, is having like, being moody, having a bad attitude, just like for absolutely no reason. Now I understand we go through some hormonal things, during the month. And so, that may cause some irritability. I get it. But our demeanor has the power to cause a war zone to become a peaceful utopia of serenity. So, or our attitudes can create a battleground that no one would desire to dwell in. We can bring more bombs, knives, ammunition, grenades, and booby traps with our attitudes in our mouths that will send your man into retreat, waving a white flag woman, I give up. I give up. I'm done. I know some of you have experienced that. And I don't believe that he ever imagined marriage with you as a surrendering underneath your combat boots, or rather a high heel on his neck. Now, I'm gonna share this with you real quick. So there was a time, if I could sum it up, because I don't have that much time to read the whole book to you. The links are in the description if you want to buy the books. But anyway, in those moments in the past where I learned that everything was not worth challenging my husband, and that I could actually bring more joy into the situation, I did not have to approach the situation like someone had already thrown a first punch. And my default to be on the offense had to get reset in order to exist in a joyous state of mind, like regularly. Like it was like a reprogramming. And if any of you have been exposed for a number of years, or maybe, like I said, you grew up like that, where joy was something that was just not, it wasn't culture, it wasn't your environment, it was looked upon shamefully. Like, you have to reprogram your mind into realizing that joy is a component, and a very important component, of marriage. Like, it absolutely is. And keeping that joy in my life became a challenge as we were faced with, you have different things that are going to come. So my past life had been tagged with the stench at times that I was not willing to inhale at first. Like, I wasn't willing to smell the funk. Are you willing to smell your funk? Or have you not been willing to smell your funk, but you know it's there? You know it's there in your attitude. You know it's there in your demeanor. And you haven't addressed whatever that it is that's blocking you from that joy. Like, you have to sit down with yourself and say, okay, like, I could have more joy. Like, what's blocking my joy? What is blocking my joy right now in my life? Anyway, let me move on. So I allowed so many things to steal my joy. The enemy would spontaneously throw things up in the air when we were having like a marvelous ideal day together, and it would come plummeting down like pigeon poop. Like, somebody just didn't, like a pigeon just flew over and just pooped on your head. And you like, hold up, the day is sunny, the day is bright, it's beautiful. Now all of a sudden, he didn't see that coming. Okay. And sometimes we do that, and we leave our husbands totally clueless. Like, where did that come from? Like, what? what just happened here? Like we was good just a second ago. Like what happened? But anyway, our natural ability to enjoy one another, um, sometimes it can get disturbed. And so what we have to do is protect our marital relationship with having more joy in it. And I admit, um, hold on, let me see what I want to share here. Okay. What I want to say is this. Ladies, that your smile and your joy is like gold, honey. It is like honey. It's sweet. And it's stronger than a still being. Your joy is what keeps it all running. Truly and honestly. Your joy is what God gave you in exchange for the other. And the other would be joy can be given to you in exchange of anger. Joy can be given to you in exchange for resentment. Joy can be given to you in exchange um for ungratefulness. Joy can be given to you in exchange for you taking things perhaps for granted, you being totally distraught about things when you can look at it in a different perspective and still have joy. And see, that is something that I know. Joy is something that is not easily kept. It's not. I get it. I understand. Something can disrupt your day in a minute. You can be at work just as joyful as you want to be, cute as you want to be, and an email come in, and you reading the email, and you like, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. See, she on one today, or if it's what is he talking about? Didn't I just, and you carry on this, because trust me, like that can still, things like that can steal your joy in a minute, just irritate you to your soul. But what you cannot afford to do is take that home. Again, check that at the door. And so the questions that I have, let me read this right quick. Okay. So you should never be afraid to approach. Nobody should ever be afraid to approach you, because joy is uniquely powerful. Joy is what draws people towards you. And the opposite, like, I don't want to deal with her. I don't want to deal with her right now. Okay. But anyway, some questions. Would you consider number one, would you consider yourself to be joyful in your everyday life? If not, why? Number two, is there anything in your life that has stolen your joy and prevents you from enjoying your marriage? You may need a coach. You may need a counselor. Number three, how do you live out your joy towards your husband? Number four, do you depend on good news, people, or things to give you joy? So do you depend on extrinsic things? Do you depend on your environment to give you joy? Or is it something that you naturally have, keep, protect, and defend, that you will have joy in your life in spite of? Number five, what role do you play in restoring joy in others whose light has dimmed? Okay, and so now it is time for our prayer, and then I will let you go. So prayer is, of course, at the end of each chapter. If this is your first time joining and seeing me, But anyway, dear Heavenly Father, you have given me so many reasons to have joy. You bless me each and every day. Despite any trouble, heartache, and disappointment, I can still count in all joy in you because you make everything work for my good, even when it looks bad. Please forgive me if I have or am walking in a non joyous state of existence that infringes upon my relationship with my husband. Everything I do and am should exemplify the woman that you created me to be. Lord, continue to rejuvenate my spirit so that my home remains a peaceful place, functional and beautiful. Let it be a place where you dwell and are always welcome. The world did not give me this joy and cannot take it away. I know y'all have heard that before. Let this joy be evidence of the fruit in my spirit that is working in me. Amen. All right. So tomorrow is day 11. Y'all pray for me. Day 11. Day 11 going live. And this is day K. And we're going to talk about kids and keeping it kittenish. And when we talk about kids, we're going to talk about the grown kids too. Because our grown kids, I don't know what's, I'm not going to use the word worse, but when it comes to worrisome, being worrisome or trying not to be worrisome, when you have little kids, you can kind of, control the situation and what they do and, you're molding them. But when you have grown children, it's so different. It's so different because you have to let them sometimes figure out life for themselves, just like when we began. But sometimes it's hard to watch. All we can do is stay in a corner and pray and then hope that they took something from what we've told them or showed them. But anyway, so tomorrow we're going to talk about kids and keeping it kittenish. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to let you go for today. Please have a wonderful evening. Be safe, and I will see you all on tomorrow. Have a good night. And as always, good night, Instagram. Good night, Facebook. Good night, LinkedIn. And good night. Did I say Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube? Don't forget about YouTube. Good night. And y'all make sure y'all share this out. If this doesn't help you, you never know. It may help somebody else.